What's up, everybody? This is Harry Bernard Taylor with my man Michael King,
the Asian sensation,
and Christopher Burton,
the People's Podcaster.
We're here to do a podcast, do a show on AEW Dynamite from this Wednesday night from Charlotte. My man Michael King was there live, and he posted a few videos so we can enjoy, check out some of the things that was going on. Michael, how was it being there live?
It was great being there live. And this is something that you could see on TV as well. But the crowd makes a big difference. So it makes a big difference on TV, right. And then when you're there live, it makes an even bigger difference. So it's a completely different experience. It's a better experience. Now the downside to being live is you don't get to hear any of the commentary. So you miss out on that aspect of the story.
That's true. That's true.
But you get to see how the announcer interacts with the crowd between matches and that type of thing to keep them engaged. One of the things, they had a local wrestler named Griff that was on the Dark Show. And so in between matches, during commercial break, saw the sign, and it's like, Griff is my grandson. And so everybody got to meet his grandmother and that type of thing. So that's some of the benefits of being live. You get to see that interaction. It's pretty cool,
right.
Pretty fun.
Right. Nice.
Have AEW, Chris, you might know this, Michael, you might know this. Have AEW came to Greenville yet?
Nope.
Okay.
I can tell you that off the jump. Nope, not at all.
Well, probably maybe they'll be coming to Greenville soon. I mean, Tony Schiavone and Jim Ross has been to Greenville hundreds of times. So, maybe they say, hey, will say we need to go on down the road a little bit. You have the same basically the same kind of venue, a lot of the same kind of fans. But you had a lot of fans that you talked to that was from out of town. Michael, you talked to a guy from New
exactly.
York.
So the thing is, I don't see them coming to Greenville because Charlotte has a denser population than Greenville does.
Right.
And people in Greenville will simply just drive to Charlotte because it's not that big a deal, a couple hours.
Right.
We got people flying in from Canada to Charlotte for that match. Wow. Good luck getting back to Canada, guys, with your lockdown.
Yeah.
Well,
so
they should come to Greenville. I mean, you have they should even go to Greensboro, which is not too far away. But if they're looking, it just really depends on how they're looking at it. And if they, they want to maximize their dollars, they're just gonna stay in Charlotte because that's a central location.
Yeah, they sold the place out. So it was sold out. So,
and it didn't look like it was a bad seat in the house.
Right.
There really isn't a bad seat. There's definitely better seats than other locations.
Right.
But, I liked where we were. I could have been in like section 24 where it'd been facing the hard cam, but it'd been like section KK or something like that, way up at the top.
Okay.
So I chose 117 where I can see the wrestlers coming down the ramp. But I was in, row H instead of KK. So.
Okay.
Yeah, we saw about 7 people stand up in front of you when Jericho and everybody was coming out, and I was like, "Oh man!"
Yeah,
Michael's
I'm ready to put my Asian sensation hat and kick him down the stairs. But
all right, man. Anything else you want to talk about before we get into the first match that was going on up there? I mean, you took some guys with you. How was it? How was their experience?
Well, everybody had a great time.
Okay.
I met some of them. Okay, so here's the deal. I was with Luca Daniels and Luke Fury, and we were in line to get in, and this kid, maybe 6 years old, in front of us, turned around and he looked at us, and then he looked at me and goes, "I recognize you." And I was like, "Do you recognize these guys?" He's like, "Well, no."
Okay.
Wow. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
You getting a bigger pop. You got a bigger pop in APW than some of these guys then.
Yeah, so all you independent promotions out there, just know I draw, I recognize. Give me a call.
There you go.
Definitely. But okay, we're gonna go ahead and start with the first match. It's a 10-man tag team match. The Dark Order versus the Elite Squad. Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson, and Kenny Omega.
The American version of the Bullet Club.
Yes, but they came out there like a basketball team. So
yeah, it was a ripoff of the Toon Squad from Space Jam.
Right. Well, I think they had a little promotion thing there because on TV, which you couldn't see, Michael, they was talking about they kind of like promoted the movie, which has been promoted to death, but the movie is kind of, it's not doing too well. So
it's definitely not the original. And from what I heard, LeBron does not need to act.
Right. So they probably got into this age. They probably went talked to Tony Khan a little bit and said, "Could you pump our movie up a little more or something like that?" And they said, "Okay, this is an opportunity that we can use, especially with the kids and everything." So because a lot of people are letting their children see it, even though a lot of us don't want to see it because it's not as good as the original. Well, we've heard all the comments about it and everything like that, and a lot of people are not taking to it because Rotten Tomatoes just crushed it, and Meteorite movie things, a lot of them just crushed it. So, going to the match. What you think about the match, Chris? I'm gonna go ahead and ask you first.
Man, it was good. It was good. And of course, they had to tease Hangman Page, starting out with Kenny Omega first.
Mm-hmm.
They had to tease that,
right?
Because you were like, "Ooh, this is what we want to see. This is what this is mainly all about." Them two right there, and then they were like, "No." So the match was a typical elimination match. It was a Survivor Series match, traditional Survivor Series match. That's basically what it was, and once you got and Carl Anderson, I was impressed. He really ran the gauntlet, man. He was in there for about at least 15, 20 minutes? At least, Michael, you were there live, so I would say that was about fair assessment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Probably around the first part of the first half of the match, he pretty much was in there carrying the thing. So I mean, he did a lot. John Silver, man, and Kenny Omega, I was very impressed with those two in the match. I mean, John Silver, man, he went. I think like the third of the match, man, he pretty much ran the table in there. He was just pretty much dominating a lot of people, which was kind of shocking to me. And Kenny Omega, when he got in there, he just I love his knee action as far as he can do it from any position.
That ripcord knee.
Yeah, man. So I was really impressed with a lot of the ways he put it together in there. Even though the match had gone a long time, and he still had full force with it. He continued to have the same impact. So I was impressed with that. But there was a few things I didn't like in the match. I didn't after the first over the top rope diving onto and everybody out there, and they caught and then they did it again, and then they did it a third time. That took away from the match, if you ask me.
Really?
But, yeah, it did. It took away from the match. I thought it was.
You didn't like the superplex off the top to the outside. You didn't like that.
Oh, you talking about when they were like going down for the jump? But I like that.
No. I'm talking about the superplex.
I remember the superplex, but I can't remember exactly when it happened. Which was it, the first one or the second one or the third one? I think it was third.
Right, because I don't think Harry's saying he didn't like it. I just think he's saying we don't need to do it 25 times in one match.
Right.
No, okay.
That 3 times just, it was like, come on, man. The match is believable. It looks good, but you don't have to put it out there 3 times and make the thing seem like, because you can basically tell these guys are waiting for him, to catch him. I mean, just how many times can you pull the wool over somebody's eyes? But I mean, but overall, it still was a great match.
Yeah, and like you said, John Silver, man, he's definitely a workhorse too, man.
Yeah.
He got in there and he definitely cleaned house and got up in the crowd and did some stuff, man. It was good. And I tell you what, and when Kenny Omega got on that roll, he was dropping people left and right with that ripcord knee and that one-winged angel, man. He was taking people out of there, man. And speaking of Kenny Omega, man, you know, I kind of did my beard in an homage to Kenny Omega. If anybody even caught that, him and Triple H, you know, I kind of did my beard like that.
So what I liked about this, well, a couple of things. One, I like that they didn't do the predictable, it's going to come down to one-on-one at the end.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
So that's what I was expecting. So in a sense, I was expecting disappointment because that's so predictable. So I like that they didn't do that. And it was a clean win for the Elite. They looked dominant. I would give it a 5-star, except they missed that dunk.
Right.
So,
Yes.
And the fans started chanting, you know, you still missed it. You still missed it.
Oh,
so.
I was wondering what they were saying. I was like, they're saying something. I couldn't quite figure it out.
Yeah. So they're chanting out of you still missed. You still missed. So it went from a 5-star down to a 4-star. You got to make that dunk, you know?
Yeah.
Right. I want to give a shout
Be
out.
Michael Jordan, not LeBron James.
Right.
Ooh.
I want to give a shout out to my man Eddie. I see that he's on online. Chris said hey to him.
And Corey.
I worked with Eddie for a long time at Publix with Publix. He's a good friend of mine. Me and him been on the road together back and forth. So appreciate you tuning in, checking us out. But what score you give the match, Chris?
Before I give my score, I want to say something real quick. I'm glad that the Elite actually won it.
Okay.
Yeah, I said it because everybody was holding on to that little thread of hope that Hangman Page is going to win. Dark Order is going to get a shot at the tag team titles.
Right.
And Hangman's going to get his shot at Kenny Omega for the title. No, swerve. They're teasing. They're dangling the carrot. Wouldn't you agree, Harry or Michael? They're dangling the carrot, man. They're like, you almost had it. You almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
Pretty much, man. Pretty much.
And I loved it. I loved it because that's not giving us instant satisfaction, man. You're prolonging it. You know, you're prolonging it. You're like, oh, it's going to happen this. No. Okay, we got to wait a couple more weeks. Got to wait a couple more weeks to see what happens. So that was a smart move on their part to extend that story, keep this rivalry going and everything. But overall, now for my score, I'd give it a 4.5, man.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd give it a 4.5 all day.
So if he would have made that dunk, would it be a 5?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right. Oh, okay. I'm gonna tell you exactly that's exactly the score I had, Chris. But I took away points.
Man, you gave it about what, 2.3?
Nope. Okay. At first, I took away 5 points for each time they came over the top rope or whatever they did when they got out of the ring.
Look, you right. Hey, this ain't the
No, I gave him the first one. I kept it there. And I gave him the first one. And so I dropped it back to I give it a 3.5. But it's actually a 5-star match. It was a 5-star. It was a 4.5 to 5-star match. But the redundancy of doing the same thing it just took it away from me, man. I just lost something there. But no, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bump it up to a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4.
Okay. I was about to say, man,
I'm gonna leave it there because it was that exciting of a match. But I can't deal with this. Oh man, we going outside the ring and everybody just standing there. Hey, we waiting for you. You know, I mean, do that once or twice, or make it look like it's legit, 100% legit. And they've done that. I mean, they've done that. They a couple other times in the, later on in the show, you had a couple matches where they hit it perfect. So hit it perfect, work on it. And I agree with you about the elite squad, Chris, because, man, it's not just that, this is keeping the storyline going a little bit longer, man. They seem to work together a little bit better. I mean, they seem to gel together.
History, man. Every last one of them guys got hit.
Right.
Once again, New Japan.
Yes, but they great.
All them guys, literally, it's like, the best way I can describe it, man, it's like, oh gosh, how can I even compare this? The Clique. Okay, you had Kevin Nash, Triple H, Shawn Michaels, X-Pac. All four of them guys, and Scott Hall. You literally had all them guys together all the time, up and down the roads, going across the country, overseas. They were always together.
Right.
And they knew each other in and out, man. I mean, they knew each other probably from like, today's Tuesday. Kevin Nash is going to wear his purple socks. They probably knew each other on that intimate level.
Well,
and
that's true.
The same thing with the Elite Squad. These guys know each other, man, from the days of New Japan, Indies, major promotions that we don't even probably know about. That's probably disbanded by now. They're a family, man. They're a family.
Yeah.
So,
and they probably play ball together too.
Well, you saw three. Well, they had the newest Jordans on.
Yeah. But
so I mean,
they probably play some ball together. They'll probably go out and play a little touch football, maybe do a little tackle or whatever. Who knows with these guys? Play a little basketball together and go out there and do a couple, a few things. So they know each other well, man, and it shows.
Now this is what I want to ask Michael. Since you were there live, how big was the pop for Kenny Omega being from North Carolina? How big was that pop
for Kenny Omega?
Yeah, was it bigger than the Dark Order, because they got a big pop?
They did. So I'll be honest with you. I was out before the show started. I went out to get the beverages and the bathroom break. Right. So right after dark.
Get it out of the way.
Right, Dark Elevation ended. There's a 20-minute gap. Right. So it did take the full 20 minutes to get a beverage and a bathroom break in there.
Oh, wow.
So I was still out there, and even out there, it was loud. All right. At the concessions, it was loud when they came out. So
I'm sure it was.
He's a big fan. So all the bad guys are from the Carolinas.
Right? Basically, yeah.
So, and that video I showed earlier, Matt Hardy outside, huge pop with the crowd and that type of thing during the interview. So, that pop was amazing. Every wrestler wishes they could be there and get that pop sometime. It was like the introduction of Jericho when it's debut at WWE type of thing. It was like, bam, there it is.
Okay. Okay. What was your final thoughts on the match? Final score on the match, Michael? The
match, I gave it a 4-star. Okay. I just really wanted them to hit that dunk. That's the only thing.
Right.
Hey, Michael, looks like you got some fans out there, man. Mr. Corey says he really enjoys the Asian Sensation.
All right.
He has good taste. He's obviously a man with a great mind and someone that has particular taste and knows what's good.
Well, Harry, it looks like Michael's going to have to get his own syndicated podcast, man. Kind of a spinoff.
He might have to do that. We might have to have him do some shows alone here, and then maybe he can break off the Straight Up Wrestling podcast. Call it the Asian Sensation. Sensation rocks the nation or something. Wrestling, man. Hey, do his own thing. All right. Okay, we're gonna go to this next thing, man. Michael, you didn't hear him, but okay, Pop. He was left alone out there. No Death Triangle. They had a little thing about that little segment there. Somebody missed a flight. What you think about that, Chris? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the pre-recorded backstage segment. Yeah. That I don't.
Did go up and show up?
No.
No, they didn't show up.
No, they didn't show. But I'm sure they were there.
Right.
But they didn't show them on TV.
No, they didn't.
Are you talking about Moxley?
No, when Pac was out there.
Yeah, Pac.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm sure Death Triangle was in the building, but they just didn't show them on camera.
Yeah, they had a match at afterwards. They had a dark match.
So they were. So the cameras went. Okay. Nice.
All right, so okay, we'll move on. The Ricky Stark segment, Chris. I thought it was cool. I like the
time filler.
Huh?
Time filler.
Yeah, it's a time filler, but
it was bad.
I thought it did well.
Michael, that's when you should have went and got your popcorn and be like, hey,
I knew it was going to be a line. I didn't think he'd talk for 20 minutes, but it kind of felt like it.
Well,
like I said, you could have went and got the boys souvenirs or something, man, and he came back and still been talking.
But no, I appreciated him because I thought he sounded very good, and there wasn't no. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just a wrestler. I shouldn't be on the mic, and so I like this promo, man. It wasn't too bad. But
well, the crowd hated his promo, and they let him know that his promo was boring. So,
well, the crowd.
The only heat he got on the microphone was after the crowd started telling him he was an idiot. So,
okay.
Then he finally got some animation to him.
So, how long was it between the match and his promo? Because I know one thing I do know about those shows like that. If you go to I'd rather go to a good house show than a show that's on. I mean, not a show that's on TV. I'd rather go to a good house show because I know a lot of shows that are on TV. Man, it's a long time between the matches because they're filling it in. They're filling in TV and all that.
It was only a few minutes, and the announcer was out there interacting with the crowd to keep them up.
Okay. That's
so good. I can't fault the crowd for being bored until this guy showed up.
Okay. Well, like I said, you're not gonna, everywhere you go, you're not gonna get a good crowd response.
I got a question for you, gentlemen, and some of our fans that are listening and possibly watching. Do you think at some point in time the old FTW belt will actually mean something in AEW like it did in ECW? Yeah, I'm trying to think ECW.
It's a made-up belt nobody gives a damn about.
I know I don't. I mean, I would like to, but when it comes down to belts now, man, it's just.
I mean, from the standpoint of okay, do you see Ricky Starks honestly going for a major title?
No.
At any point?
No, not in AEW. No.
Michael?
Not a major title. I think he has ability. I think he needs to fight with people his own size.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm saying, not to cut you off, but I'm saying this to say basically use the FTW as a filler.
Yeah, the FTW stands for fake title in wrestling.
Okay, that's the censorship version. Okay, we'll go with that. We'll go with the censorship version. But I mean, just to get them some airtime, almost like a TV title.
Yeah.
Give them something like that, and you could use that belt almost something like that.
Yeah, just call it a TV title then.
You can make it important. They can make it important. I mean, like say, Michael, they can change the name. I've seen belts change names back in the day. You can change the names and you can make that title actually important. And if you put him on a run where he's defeating everybody coming to it, that's coming after the title for a while, man, you can make that title just as important as maybe something that went on with the old Mid-Atlantic TV title, which changed into the WCW TV title.
Yeah, but then we could create 7 more titles too, and we can actually have a title for every wrestler, and they could put their name on it. I am the Ricky Starks champion, and I'm the Kenny Omega champion. It's like, why not give a title to everybody? Then we could all be winners.
I'm not into giving titles to a whole bunch of people. I mean, my whole thing is, I would like for them to go back to where you have a world title, a U.S. title, maybe a TV title, not actually those names, and a tag team title. I would like to see that again, and maybe a cruiserweight title, and that's it.
Don't they already have that though? Don't they have a world title, North American title?
They already have that, but they have even more titles on top of that. That's what I'm talking about. You got the hardcore title. You got the like you say, you got the FTW title. So yeah, I mean those basic titles was those titles what I just mentioned was titles that's been in wrestling for decades.
Yeah, years.
And those titles was important because people came after those titles and they came after them hard, and the wrestlers used to hold on to those titles, and it was a fight to get those titles.
So you could possibly make it important if they wanted to.
Yeah, but I mean now, with the landscape, and this been going on for a long time, that they made titles where they didn't mean anything. So I mean, Michael, you was even talking about that. Make the titles mean something. Make the world title mean something by somebody holding the title for a long time. But you can eliminate titles after a while. You can I remember when WCW had got too many titles at one time. They started eliminating titles, but they did it slowly. Eliminate titles. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that.
AEW don't have a lot of titles anyway.
No, they don't. Not well. I don't know.
They basically got the world tag. I think the FTW. That's it, right?
I thought they had another one. Didn't they have like a North American or something along those lines?
You got TNT.
Bronco. Oh yeah, the TNT. Yeah, that's it. You got the world tag TNT.
Yeah, the TNTs. So I get that. I support a TNT title from the business side. So the TNT title is like your U.S. champion type of thing, except you're promoting the brand so you can get the money.
Yeah,
I basically like the TV title. So
we can see.
Either way.
What's the next match?
Yeah.
Okay, next match was FTR versus Santana and Ortiz.
And your man, No Teeth Conan.
No Teeth Conan.
Yeah, Conan.
Mm-hmm. Yes. FTR is managed by Tully, the legendary Tully.
Yeah, that's your other guy.
Oh yes, love Tully.
I thought the match was pretty good, man. Santana Ortiz, man, they came up with a lot of energy. They were flying all over that place, man.
Right. Yeah, it was better than I expected because I don't care about Conan at all. But unfortunately, Cash Wheeler got hurt.
Yeah, what, he sliced his wrist or sliced his arm?
So when he was pushed off the turnbuckle, his arm came down on that cable by the steel ring post, and it cut underneath his arm. He just started bleeding immediately because there's a major artery here.
Yeah.
And so the ref saw it, automatically called for people. People ran over, grabbed him. He was over in the other corner being treated right away by like 4 EMTs. And so that's why that match ended just so quickly and abruptly. Yeah. They had to call an audible and that match and get him back. And I was hoping that they'd give us an update during that show, but they didn't announce anything. So I'm not sure if they announced anything on TV.
No, they didn't say nothing because it happened so quick, man. I mean, I was watching the match. Everybody's doing their spots, and Santana Ortiz, like I said, they're flying out the ring and doing all this stuff. Next thing I know, I think it was Santana or Ortiz goes out the ring one last time doing like a suicide dive or something. And next thing I know, I see him working on Dash over in the corner.
Yeah,
and I literally see his arm is basically red.
Right.
Like, what in the world?
He went out.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out. Okay, when did this happen? Because it happened so quick.
Right.
Like, when did it?
It's right when he was at the top turnbuckle and they knocked his feet down to knock him off the top turnbuckle.
Mm-hmm.
That's when it happened. These things happen. It's like right between the armpit and the ribs. I couldn't see from I was at the closest turnbuckle and I saw it exactly when it happened. But I didn't get his body was in the way, so I didn't get to see if it was the bicep or if it was, the torso.
Yeah, because you got that major artery right on your left side that comes from your
But yeah, they responded quick. They responded quick on that.
Because that was on his left side too, wasn't it?
No, I think it was the right.
Right side. Okay.
Well, we hope and pray that he's okay. But as far as going back to the match, you like to say Santana and Ortiz came out. They had a lot of energy. But I think FTR, man, I think they pretty much grounded them. These guys work well together. And I'm not as far as Tully, I don't know how much he has and as far as working with him, because these guys look like the brain busters to me. I mean, as far
that's where they get this style from, man. They're basically the Andersons, brain busters 2.0.
Yeah, man.
That's basically what they are.
Yeah, and they like say Santana and Ortiz all over the place, doing a lot of high flying moves and everything. But FTR, man, pretty much grounded them. So it was a really good match, man. I'm not gonna give it a. I don't think it's as good as the first match, but I gave it a 3.5.
So, I'm going to. So the ending kind of really ruined that match. It seemed sudden, and that move in particular wasn't any kind of a finishing move. But I understand it. I understand they had to kill it because of the injury, so I'm not going to penalize the match for it. So I was going to give that a 4-star match.
Okay.
Because I thought it was going really good, and I project that they had more match left in it.
It kept getting better. I'll say that. It was getting better as the match went on.
It definitely was, man. It definitely was.
It had a good build, and I just kind of feel like they had to kill it before they can tell that full story.
Right.
So that's why I'm going to go ahead and give it a 4-star, because I felt like it was building to something. They probably had something Tully Blanchard Conan interaction to build for future stuff that they had to cut. But respects to Tully. As soon as that match was over, the first thing he did was pretty much sprint right to Cash Wheeler to see what was going on.
Right.
So everybody and his tag partner both just straight to Cash Wheeler to check on him.
And I was like, so that really made me think, because when his partner jumped out of the ring and Tully went sprinting over there, I'm like, something must be really wrong with him. So
like I said, when I saw Santana Ortiz did that suicide dive with that Lucho, Poncho Lucho, whatever, over the top rope, whatever the move was, I noticed real quick. I saw him over in the corner, about 5 or 6 EMTs over there working on him, because he was on the one knee and he was getting worked on. So I was like, "Ooh, something's going on." Then when the match was over, Santana Ortiz going up the ramp, they're still working on him. His arm is basically red from blood, and I was like, "Oh, that ain't good."
No. What you give the match, Chris?
I give it a 4. I give it a 4 because I honestly believe it was on the way to be a 5 if that hadn't happened.
Right. Okay. Well, we'll all give it a 4 then. I'll go ahead and bump it on up to 4 since I gave it a 3.5. But the way it was going, I believe it was going to go up to like a 4 or 4.5. It was going to because it was getting better and better. And then, I was shocked at the ending how quickly it ended. But they had to do what they had to do to attend to the injury, which I didn't know had happened. That the injury doesn't spoil it. Like I say, we just hope and pray that Wheeler gets better. The next match. Britt Baker. She had was it a backstage, Chris?
Yep, backstage interview. Yep.
She had
MD.
Yeah, and so Michael, I guess you didn't see that when.
No, so there's a monitor, so we could see those interviews and that type of thing.
You just can't
Yeah, I was about to say,
I did.
For y'all?
Okay.
Yeah, so I did get to see the backstage interviews and that type of thing. And the first thing that came to my mind when she talked about her broken wrist was that she will never be my dentist.
Okay.
Because, if she's willing to fight through a broken wrist and end a match and that kind of stuff and have that kind of pain tolerance, I don't need my dentist expecting me to have that kind of pain tolerance either. So she's out.
Yeah,
for that reason,
I'm out. King. You can take it. Yeah, if I can take a broken
wrist, I can take it, but I no longer want to take it. I mean, I had an arthrogram done on my wrist because the Army forgot to put in a numbing agent on it. I'm good with pain.
Sheesh. Okay. Well, I don't know, man. I'm just sitting there listening to her. I get more annoyed every time I hear. Every time I listen to her, man, I get more annoyed with her, but I can't turn away from her.
She's doing her job.
So yeah, I mean, she's getting me. So she's doing the job because I'm actually attracted to what she's actually saying. But man, I'm just like, man, this is getting annoying after a while. But hey, man, she's she's pulling me. She's pulling a lot of people doing that.
I find that every time she talks, I like her more.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just love ladies, Michael. Just to say you love the ladies, man.
I do love the ladies. I'll admit to that. Yeah. Some more than others. But she's one of my favorites.
Yes. Okay.
She is my favorite non-Asian female wrestler.
Oh, okay.
All right, I don't know how Michael Cole's gonna feel about you saying that, Michael. You treading on thin ice there, buddy.
Well, Michael Cole and we can talk. I'll buy him a beer and let him know that there's nothing going on.
Yeah, yet. I mean Adam Cole.
I know what you meant. I was just gonna play with you.
Jeez.
I thought the Darby
Adam Cole is a different conversation. I have to buy him 2 beers and let him know there's nothing going on ever.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Is that her boyfriend or husband, Chris?
Husband. I want to say, yeah, that's her husband. Okay. Fiance. Yeah, they're in a serious committed relationship. I do know that.
Yeah, I know that. But
did she meet him in the chair?
I don't know if she knows. That's a good question.
Okay. Then you had the Darby Allin Sting backstage.
Oh yes. Michael, take this one, please. Michael, take this one.
All right. So everybody knows how I feel about people from Washington State, Seattle in particular. So that clown Darby Allin, the half-a-low because he can't do enough makeup to be a full juggalo. It looks like they are going to set up Darby Allin versus CM Punk in Chicago. I don't expect CM Punk to have a match in Chicago with him. I do expect a CM Punk appearance, probably to respond to Darby Allin. What I love about this is I love a heel CM Punk. I love a heel CM Punk, and this is the perfect guy to just kick Darby Allin into oblivion. Do a coffin drop off the top of the Coliseum, something along those lines. And then we don't have to deal with Darby Allin anymore. But no, I as much as I dislike Darby Allin, it's kind of like the heel, the reverse heel thing. I dislike Darby Allin so much, and I like CM Punk a lot, that I'm just going to love CM Punk more and hate Darby Allin more. So,
wow,
it's a good pairing.
Okay. Well, I just thought it was boring. And I'm just like, man, Sting, why are you sticking around with this guy, man? But I mean, Darby has his fans. I'm just not one of them. I'm trying to like him. I don't hate him as much as Michael do, but I'm trying. I think he's kind of whiny a little bit, but yeah, I would like to see him see how he match up against CM Punk. I mean, I think he's gonna get smashed.
I'd like to Darby Allin and Bryan Danielson just to tag up so I can just hate them all at once. It's a much more efficient that way.
Wow, man! But you know what? When they announced they were going to be in Chicago, I
couldn't hear half that promo because the crowd was so loud and cheering CM Punk. I couldn't hear what Darby Allin was saying.
Darby Allin was basically saying blah 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 blah. Oh yeah, and I want to fight the best in the world. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, after best in the world, I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, when he said that, it was over. You were like, okay, it some kind of way it's gonna happen.
Yes,
that was the coded way of or roundabout way of saying CM Punk is going to happen some kind of way. They basically said it without saying it.
Yeah,
but obviously, you can read between the lines. You can read between the lines, man. So
man, it's a thing to get this guy even over more than what he's already.
That's why Sting's there.
Yes, yeah. They use this thing to push this guy even farther up the ranks, man. I mean, I just don't get it. I would like to see Sting used in a different way.
Well, this might actually be the mechanism to remove Sting from Darby Allin because
right.
CM Punk and Darby Allin matching up frees Sting from having to carry Darby Allin for popularity. So CM Punk will start carrying that. And Darby is a hit. All right. They pop for Darby.
Right.
He doesn't need Sting anymore. And Sting can go on to fight somebody else or, whatever.
Right. Because if Sting's gonna wrestle, he needs to go ahead and do it now.
He's in Andre the Giant mode. He's an attraction.
Right.
Use him sparingly. So when you have big pay-per-views or big TV events, that's when you use Sting to get the money and use him as a draw. Other than that, he's useless at this point.
He really is. Maybe 2 more years, man. That's why I see it. I only can use him maybe a couple more years.
And like I said, even then, you're going to still use him as a draw.
That's right.
Use his name to get the crowd, to get your money, and get TV ratings and pay-per-view buys. That's it.
Right. I agree. Okay. Then we had what the heck?
Lance Archer?
No. Hikuleo with Haku versus Lance Archer.
Yeah, that's Haku's baby boy.
Yes.
He's the baby of the 3. And the biggest.
That's a big baby, man.
Yeah, he's the biggest of the 3. I was like, oh my God.
Look like that, Michael, since you was there, I mean, you could tell it seemed like the crowd really enjoyed seeing Haku come through there, which most people around here, we know him as Ming. We know him as Haku too, but
Yeah. It seemed like Lance Archer, I always thought was a big dude.
Right.
Okay? Lance Archer is a monster.
Yeah,
he is.
So I thought he was a big dude. I was like, oh, that's a big dude. Then I got to see him in person. I was like, oh my God, he's a monster.
Right.
Fans like Lance Archer.
Oh yeah,
he's over. I'm curious. I'd like to see Hikuleo without being carried by his ancestors.
Yes.
Because I really,
he really hasn't been in the business that long, though, has he? Maybe 3-4 years, maybe.
Yeah, he's
but I think
tell that.
I think it still feels too much like he's only there because of this guy, and so get rid of this guy.
Yeah,
and see what it can do without this guy. It's like he's leaning more on name and past fame than his own ability. And so I'd like to take that away and just let his ability speak for itself.
Yeah, true. And it's like, because since he's I dare say, the baby of all of Haku's kids, either way it goes, he's gonna have that reputation, and he's gonna have some kind of family backing.
Well, yeah, absolutely. It just doesn't have to be so in your face. If I was going to fix it, I'd probably do something along the lines of what they did with Charlotte and Rick. I just have Hikuleo, provided he can speak on a microphone.
Yes.
Do that. I can do this on my own, dad, type of thing. And stop babying me. Yeah, I know I'm the baby of the family, but I can do this, and do that whole stop coddling me thing that the youngest tends to get.
Yeah.
Well, Hikuleo, he's not as solid. I mean, you look at his body. I mean, he's not as solid as he hasn't. I don't think he's all the way formed yet as far as what he's going to be.
Because if you look at him versus his two brothers, he's like he's still going through puberty compared to them, man.
He still
even though you know the boy's in his 20s.
Yeah, he still has to grow, man. As far as getting his body solid, and and he still has things to learn in the ring.
Well, he's mama's baby boy. He's going to get the good food.
But man, yeah, I mean that just showed in the match, man, and he is not on Lance Archer's level.
No, and then Michael, you were talking about, not to cut you off, Harry, but you were talking about, Michael, that Lance Archer is a monster. He looked like Webster compared to that dude, man. I was like, this dude, you come from a long lineage of wrestling. Okay, you got the bloodline. The Tongans and Samoans, all of them, their bloodline intermixed somewhere in there. It's all family some kind of way.
Right.
But his build, looking at him, he's a great athlete. He's got skill. He does need to develop more. I get it. But if you just look at him, his stature, he looks like he's made for basketball, more for basketball.
Yeah. Well, his dad got involved in the match. Well, out on the outside.
yeah. Put him in that tongue and death grip, man.
Man, I kind of like that. I kind of like that. But I mean, as far as the match went, man, Lance,
he carried it.
He carried the match, and he kind of slowed down for the kid. Hikuleo, he's not too bad. He has some skill. I mean, there's some things he done athletically, man, that shocked me. A couple of those flips, man. The way he turned and he was able to pick Archer up and flipped him backwards and landed on top of him. That was pretty good move. I'm gonna have to go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and give my score first. I'm just gonna give the match. I was gonna give it a 2, but for some reason I went ahead and bumped it up to a 2.5. I struggled to do that, but that's all I can give. So what you got, Mr. Chris? I'm gonna go with you first.
I at least give it a 3.
Nah, I can't do that, bro. I can't roll like that.
Here we go. I was waiting for this nonsense. Yeah. I was waiting. Michael, be the voice of reason, please. Please make some sense out of this, please. Because Harry's on that BS.
Yeah, right.
He's on that BS, ladies and gentlemen. He's on that bull sugar.
That was a 3. That was a 2.
Oh, wait, he was saying something?
That was a 2.5 match, man.
So that match was a 3. It was Lance Archer carried that match.
Mm-hmm.
The fans love Lance Archer. You compare it to the other matches that we've seen, and if the others were a 4, this has to be like a 3, maybe 3.5.
So Harry, where you get your 2 from?
I gave the other match a 3.5, but I went ahead and bumped it up to a 4 with you guys because it was a really good match. But this match right here is a 2.5.
How you get a 2.5? What?
Man, it's a 2.5, man. It's a 2.5-star match. But I'm gonna bump it up to 3 because you guys went with a 3. But I'm telling you, I mean, I was in that realm of giving it a 3. But man, I don't know, man. I was just like, come on, man. It wasn't all that. I mean, you guys act like it was all that. I mean, it was.
Now, if it was all that, I would have gave it a 7.
And Chris, Chris was so pumped up because it was in Charlotte and his man.
Wait a minute.
Michael King was down there in Charlotte, so Chris was pumped up, man. Harry, you got to see AEW, man. You know you need. Man, it wasn't all that. The match was okay. Go back and watch it, man. It's okay. It was okay, but I mean, a lot of publications they gave the match a 3. But
I just know that this wasn't a match I'd walk and get popcorn. So to me, the popcorn match is like the 2.5.
Yeah.
3 is a standard match.
Mm-hmm.
2, you would have eaten your popcorn in the kitchen if you could do it all over again.
Well, man, I thought Archer did great. I was just expecting a little bit more out of Hikuleo. That was just me, man. I was disappointed in him. So he didn't get a lot of points in this match to me. So I gave Archer a 4, and I gave Hikuleo. I gave him a 2. So it just and I should split it down the middle and give him a 3 because of that. But the match probably deserved a lot more because of what Archer did and whatever, man. I'm gonna roll with this 3 because you just shaking your head, Chris. Man, come on, Harry.
So what I understand is Hikuleo should just hang up his boots and go home.
No, I'm not saying that.
What you saying then? Because you giving that man a 1.2 overall athleticism. You giving the man a 1.2, and you giving Lance Archer a 4. Come on now, come on, man. Come on now.
Look, both of you sat there and agreed. You both of you sat there and talked about this, man. Y'all talked about and y'all now everything done switched. Since I gave the match a 2.5, everything is switched. And Harry, you dogging the man. What are you talking about, man? This man is athletic, man. This guy's big, man. This guy can wrestle, man. This man can go. Man, what are you talking about, Harry? A 2.5, man? There's no way in the world you can get that match to 2.5. So that's where you going with it, Chris.
Man, I'm trying
to go with the 3. Okay, I'm going with the 3 with you and Michael. I'm going with the 3. But I tell you what, straight up, man.
You're gonna give it a 1.2.
He needs some rest. I mean, he need I don't know, man. He need to go home, man, and talk to his mom or whatever. Talk to his dad and just say, I need to rethink this college thing, man.
Oh my gosh, man.
My brothers are doing great, man. I just went ahead a little too quick. And so
Hikuleo, if you ever get a chance to watch this, just know Harry's telling you to go back into the kitchen with your mama and hold on to her apron and get that food and enjoy your life.
He's a big boy, man. I want to see him succeed. And I don't know, man.
No, he don't.
Oh, yes. Right. Shut up. We'll go on to the next match, man. No, we're gonna let's talk about Malachi Black first, man.
Man,
Malachi Black is crazy. That's all I gotta say. And Cody needs to take him out. Isn't they wrestling next week or something?
Yeah, they're wrestling in Jacksonville back at Daly's place next week.
Yeah. Cody needs to take care of him, man. But I don't know. This Malachi's he's on a level, man, that not a lot of people get at.
It harkens me back to, dare I say, Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker, Heaven versus Hell.
Oh, okay.
Because, I mean, look at it. Every time you see Cody, he's in a white suit.
Right.
And you didn't used to see Cody in white suits.
No.
So now he's rocking all white. Malachi, all black.
I mean, it's kind of like me and the Colonel.
Yeah, basically. I mean, you're at two polar opposites. So it's almost like I said, that Heaven and Hell kind of vibe, Shawn Michaels and Undertaker feud. But this is going to be excellent because we've seen both of them in the ring, and we know they can really handle their own.
Right.
And I tell you what, man, that roundhouse kick that Malachi's got, man, that thing is so quick and sweet, man. It's just And I loved it when he kicked that poor little masked man dude, that little lucha.
Oh wow! Man.
The way he landed, he looked like he looked like in a car wreck, man. It was classic. I love it. I kept rewinding that part back, man. Just when he was just like, it was classic. I loved it.
I expected more of a fight from Cody, though, man.
They're saving it. They're saving it, man. They're saving
it. He got Cody good, man, in that broadcast booth. I didn't expect that to happen. You know, Malachi just came out of nowhere, and then Malachi, man, was just putting it on him, and then when they got outside on the tarmac before they, close to where they're getting the ring.
Yeah, gorilla.
Yeah. And Cody, man, when he did that upper punch, kind of knocked him back a little bit. I said, "Oh man, Cody is he's looking good, man." The next thing you know, Malachi went back and he came back and boom, kicked him again, man. One of those patented kicks.
Yeah,
it took him
and
out.
Suddenly, Cody was looking sleepy.
Yeah,
yeah.
And the guy with the mask on, man.
I'm trying to tell you, if you go back and watch it, the way he got kicked and the way he landed was so hilarious.
And he just laying there, man, and had his head there. He like,
and his feet all cocked up. I was like, oh my Lord.
Yeah, it looked like a car wreck, man. It was brutal. It was brutal.
I'm looking forward to this match, and I love Cody Rhodes, and I think there's a lot of indie wrestling promotions out here who can learn from Cody Rhodes.
Yes.
It's a conflict of interest for me to have a match because of my position in the promotion. Remember that. You don't have to put the belt on yourself. If you've created a promotion just so you can have a belt, you're doing wrestling wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Vern Gagne.
Oh.
Yeah, I went there. Yeah, I said it.
Come on. Come on, man. I don't want.
Where's the lie?
And
the reason a lot of promotions went out of business because they didn't trust nobody except themselves.
Yep. And then
what's the lie?
Hey man, look, man. Look. As far as Vern later on in his years, as far as continuing to put the belt on himself and putting it on Nick Botwinkle, like I say, this is getting away from what we're talking about, but that was wrong. But Vern, I believe when he first started the promotion, I say he was he was justified in putting it on himself when it boils down to it, because NWA wanted to make him the champion. So I mean, he was good enough to be a champion.
That's completely beside the point, though. When you create a promotion, you put the belt on yourself. You're telling all the wrestlers, "Don't trust me. This is about me. You're not going to get a push." All right. So you want to do the promotion. Put yourself in the match, screw yourself over, give the belt to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Let the wrestlers have that trust, and then you can get the belt later on.
Well,
but don't do it right away, because you're killing the trust.
Right. I've seen wrestlers do that. Paul Jones, remember when Paul Jones left Mid-Atlantic, he went and started a promotion up in North Carolina. And he put the championship belt right on himself. And he left Mid-Atlantic. He was a manager. Remember he had Shaska Wally, Pez Wally, he had Mass Superstars and things like that. He hadn't wrestled in years, man. Went up there and he was the champion. I was just like, what the heck? And so so I mean, it's a bad thing, Michael. I agree with you 100% on that. But let's move on, man. Hardy Family Office, the next match, Hardy Family Office versus Cage and Jurassic Express.
All right, so the Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes match was better than the Hardy Family Office.
I was about to say, this is when you go back and be like, oh, I got the wrong size t-shirt. Hey, I'm going to go to a refund. I'm going to go get a refund. I'll be back in about 40 minutes.
Well, and the whole thing about it is this. If you think, if it push you back to where you saying Malachi Black and Cody Rhodes was a match, which it was a tag, but hey, it was definitely a better segment than this match. So I agree with
that was garbage, man. And then what killed me, man, the pre-show, pound that ass. going good, and then we were like, oh, we're gonna take a left. And I'm like, whoa, how did we get here?
Man, I was just like, man, that's kind of like a jail reference, man. You know, like, come on, man.
And then you get in the match. It was like, no, y'all didn't pound that ass. Y'all shit the bed. So that's what y'all did. Y'all shit the bed. It was horrible.
Oh, come on, man.
I give that a 1.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm just gonna cut to the chase. I give it a 1.
Oh, come on, man.
Man, it was basically what 2 against 1 because you had the Dressosaurus against the Street Profits 2.0.
Yeah, pretty much, man. But I mean,
come on, man.
Come on now.
Jungle Boy was in the ring not even 5 minutes.
Jungle Boy was in there.
And he gets chased outside for like 25 minutes. And then Marco Stunt's in the back. And then you got 2 against 1. And then at the last minute, you see, I mean, come on, man. And Kate and Christian, he was, oh my God.
But Blade, man. Blade at the end, I mean, he got a hold of Christian and, you know, he hit him with those brass nuts. So that should have brought the match up a little bit for you. Blade should be in jail, man.
1.1. Okay, there you go. 1.1.
I was bored right after the intros.
Oh wow, man!
See, there you go. There you go.
Man, y'all tripping, man.
Let me guess. What you gonna give it an 8?
Hey, man.
I just know that I had to wake up everybody in our entire section, saying, "Hey, the match is almost over. Getting ready to go into the next one." Okay, good.
That was horrible, man. That was horrible.
Man, I thought Jungle Boy, which I'm not a fan of Jungle Boy, I thought he done well in his match. I thought, who was the guy with green mask? The
Jurassisaurus or whatever. Luchasaurus, yeah.
He was impressive. I liked him. I mean, I didn't care for the when he grabbed the 2 of the party, what party ignition of jive, whatever you want to call them. Hip hop part, not hip hop party. I guess R&B, whatever you want to call these guys, man.
The triple back body drop.
Yeah.
That was horrible.
That right there, man.
That was horrible.
Like, come on, man. And then they looking around and they like, even Christian Cage, Christian had this look on his face. Even he's shocked about it, man. Come on, just. Some things like that, man, just really brought the match down the way it was just. And
you still gonna give it a 5 after your own admission.
Man, I'm not giving it no 5, Chris. I'm joking around, man. Goodness,
no, you ain't. No, you ain't.
I'm not dogging it.
No, you ain't, man. No, you ain't, man.
I'm not gonna hate this match as much as Chris Burton. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump it up to a 1.5.
Oh man, I'm giving it a 2.5. I'm giving it a 2.5, man. We ain't going there. But I'm thinking back to the match. The match was kind of horrible. But we're gonna give it a 2. Straight up wrestling show, 2. Can y'all agree on a 2? Come on, man.
Well, if you did the math, 2 would calculate.
Yeah, give it a 2, man.
Numbers don't lie, but they can't be manipulated. And I'll still give it a 1.1.
Man, man, they tried, man. They tried. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we can agree on a participation trophy for this match.
There you go. I can do that.
They gave it their best shot, man. He got in there, and I mean they worked a little bit, man, and like I say, party swag or whoever you want to call them. They had their tennis shoes on, man. They said they like to go to the club like that, man. They thought they was in a club atmosphere, and they was in there. They did a little stomp. They stomped a little bit, man, and they got beat up a little bit. But hey, whatever. Let's move on, man, to the Thunder Rose versus Julia Hart match.
It was a good match. It was a good match, but you knew it was going to be a squash.
Well, of course.
I mean,
so I think.
What's up, Chad?
Thunder Rosa and Darby Allin should get together and have like one whole face.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
This half face paint thing. Okay, whatever. Thunder Rosa is good. She's strong. I'm not sold on Julia Hart's gimmick, the bubblegum cheerleader thing, and the whole male cheerleaders that she's with. It kind of reminds me of something I saw in WWE a decade ago or more, or actually more than a decade ago, except it was all men doing the rah-rah thing, some sort of pep squad thing. I think Chris can come up with that name, but it was...
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about because, well, actually, if it weren't for them, we wouldn't have Dolph Ziggler.
Exactly, but I didn't like that.
Yeah. Let's just get to the score on this one because you knew Rosa was gonna win it, and you knew it was gonna be a squash. You just knew it because Thunder Rosa hadn't been on TV in a while, and she comes back with a little bit of edge. So, it was gonna be a squash. I give it a 2.5.
3.
2.5.
Okay. All right.
I kind of think was intentionally put there to make the match after more exciting.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and go with a 2.5. But it was okay. I mean, it was good to, like say, see Thunder Rosa back and hopefully Julia Hart, maybe she can up her game a little bit and make something of herself. Maybe move away from this gimmick. Having what are these other two guys?
Varsity Blondes.
Yeah, I'm about to call them the Hollywood Blondes, but
yeah, I know. It's weird how it works out that way, right?
Right. Stone Cold. Who was it?
Brian Pillman Jr.
Brian Pillman and Stunning Steve Austin. Yeah.
So, you have that one of them has that same hairdo as the Lionheart Chris Jericho back in the WCW days.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Okay. All right. To the final match, man.
Yes. This is what everybody. This is what sold out the Bojangles Arena.
Okay.
This is the match that pissed off Domino's Pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, man. It's kind of messed up though, man. I mean, when he had the pizza cutter, when first got the pizza cutter, he's going across it. The guy on the Domino's commercial, when they split the screen, was cutting the pizza at the same time, so you see the sauce and the blood going at the same time, man. So you know what? If I'm Domino's, my response would be actually the opposite of what they actually did. Okay. So Domino's is talking about pulling advertising dollars and all that kind of stuff because of this match. Right. And okay, Domino's, you do that and watch Papa John's get even more market share because you're out. All right.
Thank you.
Wrestling fans like this crap. All right. That would have been perfect product placement for the wrestling audience because now they're going to associate wrestling and Domino's. Yeah. Okay. People associate football with Papa John's. Yep. You pull out Domino's, Papa John's going to slide in, and then you can become Little Caesars. All right, Little Caesars Pizza, and nobody's going to like your crap. They're just going to do it because they've got the munchies after smoking weed at midnight, and they're going to get your pizza just to shove bad, empty calorie food into their face.
I don't think Domino's. Go ahead, Chris. I don't think Domino's will pull out though. I don't think so. They might. Well,
that's their threat.
Yeah. Well, that's their threat, but I doubt they'll pull out, man. And then you have to think of who probably took that to them. I mean, it's probably a competing faction, a competing organization, that probably went and say, hey, you guys gonna go for this crap? Because I mean, come on now. The people that actually wanted to watch and see this, they knew something like this could happen. TNT
was informed that it was going to happen.
Right.
I don't think they planned on the commercial being right there at that particular time.
It was a coincidence, man.
It really was.
Yeah. I mean,
I think it was. I personally thought it was great timing for Domino's.
Right.
And they should have loved it instead of hated it.
And be like, oh, so a pizza cutter is a multi-tool. It cuts pizza and it can be a weapon for them serial killers that are out there. But whatever. I don't judge. Right. I don't judge.
But on to the match, man. It was brutal. I mean, it was what you expected. I've seen even more horror in the ring than that. But yeah. I was like, man. But if it wasn't for foreign objects, man, if it wasn't for
man, I'm sure those objects were made in the United States, man. I'm sure that
they was. They was made in the United States, man, but they was foreign to a wrestling ring, put it that way. But if Gage didn't have that pizza cutter, man, and then had all the other stuff, because the pizza cutter, he used that from the get-go. And
yeah, so, when he sliced Jericho's arm, you was like, oh,
yeah,
here we go.
So, man, he used that to slow Jericho down from the get-go, because when it boils down to it, Nick Gage has no business being in the ring with Chris Jericho. And even at this stage, in my opinion, as far as skill-wise go. But, hey, when you use all that crazy stuff, man, that is an equalizer. It's going to even things up.
Hey, like Tyson said.
So, Nick Gage died, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Okay, so if this was just a street fight, even without all the gimmicks, I think Nick Gage has got it, to be honest with you.
Oh yeah.
But if you want to just go on a wrestling tactician match, and then maybe Jericho has it over Nick Gage. I'm not positive, but maybe he does. But I'm not going to sell Nick Gage short on being able to fight.
But can Nick Gage fight without using all that stuff?
Yes. I mean, he'll throw elbows, punches, and that kind of stuff. All that other stuff is what he does in addition to it.
Yeah.
So you're saying he uses all the gimmicks as a crutch?
Not as a.
No, that's what I'm saying. What Harry's thinking, he's using it as a crutch.
No, I'm not saying he uses it as a crutch. I believe the guy can legitimately fight. But I'm just wondering, like, say, if he was in a legitimate fight with Chris Jericho, could he because Michael think he would actually win the fight if they was in a legitimate fight.
I think it's potential. I think it'd be a good fight because I know Chris Jericho can fight too. He proved that in the locker room with some actual fights against a certain wrestler. But Nick Gage can straight up fight as well. Right. So Nick Gage can straight up fight, and then they use the death match type of stuff on top of it.
Right. Okay. Well, but no, I'm talking about just as far as just wrestling ability. Wrestling ability in the ring. I'm just saying. I just think Jericho is far.
Right, and I agree. If we're talking about the wrestling tacticians, I think Jericho's got them. But if you want to go with a fight, a street fight, I think that you're competitive, and then if you go to a death match, and you're definitely playing in Nick's house.
Yeah, it's a total different ball game then. But
Harry's having technical difficulties. Sorry about that, folks. But the match, like I said, the match was exactly what we thought it was going to be. We knew it was going to have elements of actual wrestling in it. We knew this, but Nick was like, okay, I can do the actual wrestling with you, but we're just going to go ahead and just put it out there. Let's get down to business. He's like, don't sugarcoat it, don't BS it. Let's just give the people what they want, and let me do what they want me to do.
And it was a relatively short match as far as this style of things I've seen in the past. It was a good match as far as street fighting and the gimmick match that it was.
Yeah.
I really like the whole 5 labors of Jericho
Yes, I love
concept.
that.
I think that's just great story. And then I really loved the Juventud Guerrero segment after that match.
I would have loved it if Juventud would have came out.
Yes, that would have been better. Absolutely.
Out, oh my Lord!
Yeah, because that would have been a pop. That would have been a huge pop.
Yes.
But I'm not sure what it looked like on TV, but I got to see the monitors from the camera. I really loved looking at Jericho bloody and bleeding on the rope, listening to it and seeing what's coming up next. I thought he did a great job there too.
Yeah. That was good. Yeah, that was definitely good, man. And then MJF. MJF. He put in the stipulation next week. He's got to win by a off the top rope maneuver. That's the only way he can win. So he's got to do a missile drop kick, flying crossbody, Hurricanrana, something, moonsault, something. He's got to do something off the top rope to win the match next week. He can't just put him in the walls of Jericho or do the Judas effect, which is the back elbow.
Mm-hmm.
And Harry's up there just.
Yeah, we can't hear Harry all of a sudden, so.
Yeah, it looks like he's out for the count. Like his sound needs to come off the top rope to win this match.
All right, so we know Harry gives this match a 5. He loved it. Probably his favorite match of the night.
Harry's
we get to speak for Harry.
He was like, "This is the best thing ever, man." He was like, "This is better than the pyro at the opening of the show, man." He's like, "Man," he's like, "I didn't care nothing about the whole show. This was it, man. All the blood, guts, and the light bulbs getting smashed, and one headlock." He was like, "That's my kind of wrestling."
Oh, he mad now. Hey,
yeah.
You mad, bro? You mad, bro?
He big man. He big man.
So Harry, using your fingers, tell me what you give this match. A 3.5. All right. I can understand. I can see that from Harry's perspective because he likes wrestling more than just fighting and light bulbs and that kind of stuff.
So if they would have had 4 headlocks in the match, Harry would have gave it a what? 5?
So he needs 4 headlocks and a legit body slam, and then
there you go. It's a good match. It's a good match.
So, he's like, I want to talk. So I give it a 4. I know what they can do. I know they were limited because it was TV and they can't go all out. So they couldn't do the match the standard way. I'm not a fan of death matches. That's not my can of worms.
No.
But you rate it according to what they're trying to do, not versus what you'd rather they do. So for this match, if it could have been a little bit longer, because it seemed to end pretty quick.
Yeah.
And what was it? Maybe 7 minutes of match, 10 minutes of match, and then 5 minutes of MJF talking about Juventud and that kind of stuff. So Jericho bled too soon. You know,
he did.
He cut himself right off the bat with the head post thing. I'm not sure if I know people that were sitting ringside right down there, and they could see him just straight up bleed himself. So that color. So I thought that could have been handled better. Build up to color, not necessarily start with color. You know, might as well just cut yourself as you're walking down the ramp to get started.
Yeah, exactly. Just like, you know, just go ahead and get it over with.
Yeah, but it was cringeworthy. The effective, the whole pizza cutter things to make everybody at home go, you know, and I think that worked.
Because I did. I was like, when I saw him get sliced with his arm, I was like, okay, we going now. We go in there. We're strapped in. It is no turning back. It's like riding a roller coaster. It's like, okay, we about to take this first drop. We can't put on the brakes now. And then when he literally walked up to him, had him between his legs, and he grabbed the hair. And he was right there. He's like, I'm going to do it. I was like, oh, boy. I was like, yep, we definitely going over that first drop. Here it comes. Here it comes. And he's, yeah. I was like, oh, God, there it is. And I'm like, yep, we in this thing now. We are really in this thing now. So, yeah, it was what it was, man. I mean, I'd give it a 4.
Give it a 4, and a 3.5. Mathematically, I think that ends up being a 4.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, 4.
So we all agree with the 4. So that's the show. Overall, what do you give it?
Overall, I'd give it a 4.5.
I can go with 4.5. 4.5 right in there. How about you, Harry? 4.
He gives
all right, so 4.5. I think overall it gets a 4. Yeah, it's still that's still a really good show. A 4-star is a really good show. You had a couple of duds in there, but that just shows you how much those other matches, how much better those other matches were.
Yeah. And just to put in the side note, I read somewhere, and if I can find the article, I'll post it in our Facebook group, that these 5 labors of Jericho is basically Jericho's swan song.
Because I've heard something about, I've been reading the rumors about, is he retiring?
Yeah, because I'm like, why are you giving him these matches that he probably at some point in time in his career wanted to do or wanted to revisit with the Juventud Guerrera and things of that nature? You know, like I said, you're giving him what he wanted to do, never had a chance to do, and also give him a chance to revisit some stuff. But, just send him out right, But
he's also about to go on tour again.
Yes. So, and like, what's Jericho, like 50 something?
50.
Yeah, 50. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, this would be a good swan song, his 5 labors of Jericho, and then just end it off with MJF because, or even better yet, get to the last labor and he doesn't make it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then maybe at their WrestleMania or whatever, some kind of way he comes up with a clause, ends up still getting MJF and ends up winning and he rides off into the sunset. But either way, it would be good for him. I mean, the man's done it all. He's done everything he could possibly do.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to put that side note in there. But if I find that article, I'll definitely post it and look for the fans' reaction and feedback on that.
Okay, that'd be interesting. I'd like to see what the fans think about whether he's retiring after this or not.
Yeah.
So that's our show. You want to close us out, Chris?
All right. Well, this is it, ladies and gentlemen. And we will be posting this on YouTube, by the way, later on. So make sure you hit like, share, subscribe, and
ding, ding, ding. Ring that bell to be notified.
That's right. When we go live or when we post any videos. And comment because you are part of the show. We want to talk with you, not at you. So, for myself, the People's Podcaster, and my co-host,
Michael King, the Asian sensation,
and for the soundless, Harry Bernard Taylor, we are out.
Peace be the journey, guys.